So I haven't played Sovereign Skies yet, and I'm curious if anybody has played out there. BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, Ian Zang and Aaron Wilson. We're talking some of the spicy hot games we played recently, and one of those is a game designed by Aaron Wilson. So obviously, Aaron, you know it way better than all of us.
Yeah. Ian and I probably know it better than anyone.
Yeah.
Give us the elevator pitch for those who haven't played Sovereign Skies. What's the game about?
So Sovereign Skies is a game about 4 old Earth factions. They're pretty faceless. They're sort of like corporations that you come in. You're coming into this cluster of 6 planets, and it's a worker movement game and a rondel. So worker movement is basically it's like worker placement, but you're moving your piece around, which is your mothership, and you're landing on each of those planets have a special action, and you're trying to kind of like decide which actions you're going to do in what order. When you land on a planet, you can take a card, you can put down a ship, and you can do that special action. You don't have to do all 3 of those actions. You could do 2 or just 1 of those. If you do 1, you get an energy. If you do all 3, you have to pay an energy. It also costs you energy to go more than 1 space if you're moving. You can also pay 2 energy to move around and go the other way. So it's all about this orbit through this cluster of planets. Those actions allow you to do certain things. You can score in different ways. So you can pledge your allegiance, and pledge means that you turn in cards and get these little pledge influence. You can recruit senators that give you special abilities. Those are one-time use. You have one or the other on each of those cards, but you also get influence by recruiting those. You also it's also area majority. So when you have majority and another person lands on a planet where you have majority, you get energy. So you have income that way. When when you're putting ships down, you can also turn those ships into bases depending on the color of the planet you're on. It's going to cost you a different amount of ships. You can also flip those bases over and activate those bases with another special ability, and those get you those influence. And all those influence dwindle in value. So it's really a race game. You're really racing to get the highest value chits as fast as you can. And this game is fast. It plays in 45 minutes to an hour, depending on if you're learning or how many players there are. But in a 3 and 4 player game, you can easily get through it in 45 minutes if you played before.
What was the inspiration?
So it was just this theme that I'd been working on for a while. It was kind of a social statement. It was sort of satirical about colonization, and it was just like the natives are all aliens, and they're all doing their own things. Each one of these planets are a different alien race. They have their new democracy. They're trying to be peaceful, and we are human corporations that are coming in and just exploiting the whole situation like we humans tend to do. So that,
come on, help me out. It's like,
it's like, no, we're here for peace, but we're taking energy. We're occupying planets. We're doing all the stuff that colonizers do.
And we're still doing that in the future? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, we're still doing it. Have you not seen the Alien series? It's all about corporations, man.
It's true. Yeah. It's true.
Have you seen like The World now?
Terraforming Mars. It's all about those corporations.
Yeah, it really is. But anyway, so Ian and Nolan kind of had this idea at the same time. They had this kind of like world building idea, and our 2 kind of ideas really meshed together well. And so we, Nolan like worked with a writer, bringing in a bunch of like backstory into the whole situation. They're working on like possibly a comic book for this stuff, and then I'm actually working on a sequel to the game now with John Prather, who designed Fire in the Library with Tony Miller. Sure. So John and I.
John Prather also did the solo version of this.
Yes. And,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
John worked on the solo version with me on this, and he just created an amazing solo
it's ridiculous
experience from everything that's there. There was no additional kind of components that came in. It's just a way you manage the cards for the AI. It's fantastic. So,
and it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah.
playing on hard mode, you will.
Is it one of
lose the
those
first
where
couple times.
like there's a score that you're trying to beat, or is it more like
you're trying to beat? It's basically a 2-player game where you have an automata that you're playing against. You're playing against.
who else has trouble with that word?
Yeah,
Does
right.
Anybody else have trouble with it?
Automata.
Yeah.
Automata.
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 I want to. I want to say
if you
it
don't put the
Italian,
N on
right?
the end.
I've said it like that
automata.
sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, we could, use the internet and actually find the proper pronunciation of this.
They made up the word basically. I mean, it's. I think it. Comes
Isn't it
from
like
the Latin.
Jamie Stegmaier made up automata?
Yeah, I think it comes from the Italian for automation, something like that. I forget what it was. He's told the story before.
Yeah.
But I have so much trouble with that word. Man.
Yeah,
The
this
solo
too.
version.
Between the two of us, Aaron and I have played this game easily over 1,000 times. So it's
Verla says totally have trouble with.
400.
I say Automa, so I'm not sure if that's right or not.
I think it's a fantastic little Euro game that people. It's like the introductory Euro game. Like anyone who's trying to introduce people into these sorts of games where there's a little bit of depth, but there's enough depth there for like heavy gamers, but there's also like it's light enough that even an entry-level person can really dive into it and see the connections that everything is happening. So
Are the Senator cards, are those a deck that you have, or is that like a market that
there are
you're
actually
buying?
3 decks.
Yeah, so there are 15 cards, and you're going to pay with those. Each one of the planets has a politic card. So when you go there, you can pick up those cards, and then you can spend those. Each one of those senators is going to have a unique set of 2 that you can spend to pick those up when you go to the recruit action. And so there are 3 stacks of 5 each, and then those have different values because some of the powers in those are like differ in kind of how powerful they are.
That took
is-
a long time to balance.
Yeah, well,
That's a game that's going to be very interesting to the chat crew. A lot of them are from the Gateway and Filler Games group, so we're always looking for games that we can introduce to our family or our friends who have never been in gaming. And it sounds like the way you're describing it, Ian, is that this is the kind of game you could bring with your friends that maybe are just getting into board games and you have as much fun as they are, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, it's on your turn. You generally have 1 or 2 options that are like visible to their to the beginner player, but the advanced player is thinking like 3 steps ahead about what they could do. But then those plans often kind of change.
Yeah, they
based
can
on
fall
what
apart.
other people do.
yeah.
But what's really good is that no matter what people do in the game, it doesn't stop others from doing it.
There's no direct conflict.
Right.
It's a Euro.
It's a Euro. That's right.
It's a Euro that looks like something that is direct conflict, and it's not.
Nothing wrong with that.
But
I
mean,
love my Euros.
but you're vying for trying to get the highest amount of influence before other people do. So, I mean, there's definitely conflict there. It's just indirect.
Hey, there's Johnny Pack, designer, checking in. What's up, Johnny Pack? Good to see you.
Johnny Pack.
If you have any questions for them. And also, hey, the family's in the house. We got Our Family Plays Games. What's up, Mick? I just watched episode 49. Can't wait to watch 50. Make sure you check out episode 50. It's going to be off the hook. So congratulations on getting that done. Drake Villarreal calls his solo cardborgs. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty cool.
You will be assimilated into the solo cult.
I
I like that a lot. All right, so that's Sovereign Skies. You can get a copy, and it's from Deepwater Games, designed by Aaron Wilson, right?
That is correct.
PJ?